Thanks for joining us. This is live with the Miami's Community News, and our guest today is Jeanmarie Massa.
Yes.
You are the recycling manager at the Solid Waste Department of Miami-Dade County.
Absolutely correct. Yes.
Right. So you're very enthusiastic, and lots of folks think people that work for the refuge department, the recycling thing, they're just like, they're out in left field.
So not true. We have the best department. Everyone is enthusiastic. We love what we do.
The Eco Venture, is that who was just here, Tommy? And the zoo was just here, brought the chompers. It's their little alligator about this big. And a few weeks ago, the Animal Service Department came over. Very enthusiastic people. Yeah. The whole system, I see that, all right? That it's wonderful to see that. And people are happy to have conversations.
It's true. We've got a lot of good things to say, a lot of good things to bring to people. So, and thank you for letting us do it.
All right, well, our pleasure to do that. Okay, so let's talk about what's supposed to go in the green dumpsters, the green carts, what's supposed to go into the blue carts.
Oh, good.
Right?
Yes.
And we're going to do this, recycle right.
Correct. That is exactly it. That's what we're going to talk about today, recycle right.
Okay, I see we have some little prized possessions over here.
I did.
Okay, let's start with the pizza box.
Okay, all right. Pizza box. All right, pizza boxes
they're made out of cardboard, but
they're not recyclable in our program.
How is that? Because cardboard, we get all these boxes from Amazon and we recycle those. Why not?
Which are great, and we want those. But this has grease. And if you got a pizza that doesn't have grease, then you got gypped, number one, but still don't recycle the box. The grease, it's really funny. I tell kids, put a little bit of oil in the box and watch it for a few days. Of course, your mother will kill you because ants will come too, but it just gets more and more engrossed in the cardboard. And eventually the cardboard is just a
So what's the difference
mess.
for your purposes, between grease and water?
Well, water isn't great, but water will dry. Grease doesn't dry. It just completely
I have some because I unfortunately ate some pizza and went all over my shirt. This is a brand new shirt.
It looks brand new.
Yeah, I just put it on for this. All right. The other one is permanently stained, I'm sure. All right. So pizza boxes, if there's no
just
not at
out,
all.
Right.
And these go into the green
garbage cart.
Green garbage carts.
Yes.
All right. And the way we want those brought out to the street is the handle is to the property.
Correct. Yes.
Right?
So when it opens, it faces the street.
So 380,000 homes are being serviced in this general area. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Each of the drivers has about 1,000 homes.
Yes.
And they pick up 2 or more per thing.
Yeah.
And it's one driver per truck.
Per truck.
And they have these cameras and all this stuff. It's really neat boy toys.
It is.
And it picks it up and then empties that out in there. And they look in the camera and make sure things that are not supposed to go in there. Right. What are some of the things that have been there that they went, hold on a second?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There are a bunch of things, and I brought you some stuff. Okay. And I'm going to start with kind of the worst and work my way back to the best. Okay. So you got to use your imagination.
It's okay.
It's okay. So Christmas trees. All right. This, of course, the real Christmas trees, you have no idea how many people put Christmas trees in their cart. So you think, okay, that's one time during the year, right? But there's vegetation, all kinds of veg, and it can't be recycled. It's not something you could maybe mulch it.
I can't smash it down and put the top down like they're not going to see it.
No, you can't do that. No.
So, all right. So since when, and what do inquiring minds want to know about where to put their palm frond leaves?
Yeah.
All right.
That can go in your green cart. It's garbage.
Okay.
That's perfectly okay. Yes.
Okay.
And it gets picked up twice a week. So very good.
Oh,
yeah.
Good.
But no veg.
That is a relatively small Christmas tree.
Yeah, I know. It had to fit in my basket. Okay. Now, another thing, and it's so funny because when I was coming in today, someone in your lobby even said, oh, no. All right. This kind of stuff.
Okay.
This is plastic, but it's not a bottle. So this is not acceptable for recycling. This needs to go in the garbage cart so it can become electricity.
Okay. So I'm glad you brought that up. All right. So all this stuff, and there are a zillion tons, all right? You take it over to where's that plant that turns this into ash and into electricity?
Oh, that's out like 58th Street, 97th Avenue about.
So all these guys here, this winds up getting burned, right? Is that what?
Yes, this, if it's in your garbage, as
Yes.
it should be, yes.
Okay. And then it's converted to electricity.
Yeah, well, the burning produces steam. The steam turns the turbines, generates electricity. Electricity is used to run the plant. The extra electricity is sold, and we power 35,000 homes. And then the remainder is ash, which goes into an ash landfill.
I'm not an engineer, and I don't pretend to play one.
Yeah, me neither.
So you have the turbines. Where are the turbines?
They're at the plant.
At the plant.
Yes.
And it creates electricity out of that.
Right.
And then you send some of that electricity to where?
And some of it goes to Homestead, but it goes out into the grid. Yes.
So goes in the grid. That's 20 miles, but it goes into a grid before that, or it goes directly to
the grid. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
Okay.
but it goes along electrical wires to where it's supposed to go.
So like wholesale, and then they retail it out.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. All right. So these go into the regular
Garbage.
And
Yes.
this goes where?
Regular garbage.
Regular garbage.
Yes, very good. Few more things.
Yogurt.
Yes,
Frank, did I get it right? I know you're watching.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
What about yogurt cups?
Oh, I get so much flack over yogurt cups. They are not a bottle. This is not acceptable for recycling. So these do not go into your recycling cart.
But when we look at this, just on the surface, you go, all this is recyclable. That's the mind. We have paper product. We have this over here. This over here. This is plastic, sort of.
It is plastic.
This is plastic.
Right.
And plastic is not recyclable.
Plastic bottles are recyclable. Remember, we talked about this last time.
So
Good.
this is recyclable.
Good.
Okay.
Yes, good.
All right. Not any particular product. Very
No,
good.
just
All right.
yeah, trying.
I'll cover that side.
Okay.
So is this recyclable?
Yes, that is recyclable.
So this is recyclable,
Right.
but this isn't.
Yes. Okay.
And what is the difference?
This, even though it's slight, has a narrow neck. It's easier to see here. See how the opening is smaller than the rest of the container? That's called a narrow neck. So that's acceptable for recycling. This is the best thing I can explain, okay? The way you recycle plastic, you melt it. You melt almost everything except for some of the things. But anyway, if it's meltable, you melt it. That's how it gets recycled. This melts at a different temperature and whatever than narrow necks. And so it makes it harder to recycle. And,
But it's the way this is manufactured, this part of it.
Right.
So this is made with the understanding this is going to be recycled, and they make it a certain way.
I don't think they make it knowing it's going to be recycled. It just is recycled. They make it knowing that the liquid will pour out easier.
I just want to know the people that go through there and they start separating the stuff because it's in the wrong pile.
Yes.
Do they start screaming? Don't these people know that you cannot recycle yogurt cups?
I think they see it all the time. I, on the other hand, when I see pictures of crazy things in the cart, which we'll get to talk about in a little bit, I go out of my mind. Yes.
All right. So let me go. So this right here goes into the garbage.
Yes.
This right here can be recycled. And one of the ways we know is based upon the neck.
Right. Narrow necks. And we're just calling them bottles because narrow necks, that's too hard.
And that, so this actually goes into here too.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Frank, we're learning, baby.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
He's
all
so
right.
proud. I can almost hear him.
All right. Since
else do we have?
I'm looking at some notes, what about the bags that we get from the stores?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And we put our stuff in there.
Right.
And because if it's more than 3 things, you're going to drop it on the way to your car if you don't have the bag.
Right. Yeah.
So where do we put those bags?
Okay. And we're talking about plastic bags. Yes. Okay. So this is not really the enemy. I mean, these are recyclable, but not in your blue recycling cart. They're recyclable if you bring them back to the grocery store. I mean, almost any grocery store has a little container before when you go in the
and what do
front
they
door.
do?
Actually, a lot of these are made into plastic lumber. They're one of the components in the plastic that's made into plastic lumber.
I was at a kid's playground the other day. It was artificial turf, plastic, everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
And let me tell you that it's really heavy stuff too, but we digress. So what happens with this, okay, this is why you can't put it in your blue recycling cart. And one day we're going to go on a virtual tour of the materials recovery facility.
So for now, if you didn't want to hang them around your car,
right,
and you do that because it's the right thing to do,
Right.
right? You would throw that into your green can.
cart. But if it ends up in your blue cart, goes to the materials recovery facility, lots of conveyors, everything bumps along on the conveyors. And what this does is it wraps around the conveyor belts, actually disabling the conveyor belts that everything has to travel along. They have to shut down the plant every 2 hours. People have to get in there and dig out the bags.
About 10 years ago, I went to Sears and I bought a limb grinder.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. So I didn't read the directions, of course not. And so I started putting my Areca palm stuff in there. And you know what it did? Exactly what that
does. It wrapped all the way around. Right, because of the long,
Yes.
Right. So no good. I mean.
So that goes same place that goes.
Yes, that goes into, right. It could become electricity. You could reuse it. I think I use it because I have kitty cats. I empty kitty litter all the time. Perfect for that. Into the garbage.
So Jeanmarie, I saw on one of the candy bars, they say, bring us back the wrapper to your store.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yes, it was like pretty neat. And it's because you have to, this is a change of mindset where you have to say, okay, we got this over here. What do you want to do with it?
Right. Yeah.
Now this could go into here.
Well, it could. I mean,
it does a lot.
Yeah.
And what happens when this goes to the place to where
it's burned to produce steam, which generates electricity.
So is there somebody there trying to separate it or not?
No, there's no, not at that plant.
And on the recycling, it goes into the blue container.
Blue container.
All right.
Right.
That goes to a different place?
Right. Different truck goes to a different place. And there's mechanical and people sorting at the materials recovery facility.
Because those probably have a much higher percent of recycling stuff.
Yeah, please. I hope so, since that's the only thing that's supposed to go there. Right.
All right. So this gets turned into steam, operate turbine turns to electricity. This stuff gets reduced to what?
Well, it gets baled. You know what a baler is, like a big trash masher. Okay. And then those great big bales that are like 1,000 pounds or something are shipped to companies that then make them into new bottles, new materials.
So this gets burnt up, ash and electricity. Here, you don't burn it. You just you repack it.
Right.
Into these.
Well, yeah. So when it gets to whatever company is going to make it into a new bottle, it's melted down, must be poured into a form, and comes out a bottle again. There's a seam here. So yeah.
Wow. All right. What else do we have over here?
Okay. All right. So you got to use your imagination on this one. Okay. All right. We've gotten, these are little toys, right? I don't know, right? Okay.
Yep.
I just brought these because we have gotten in our recycling cart, the big one that the kid can sit in?
Yes.
I swear to you, one of those were in our recycling cart. And that's not going to get recycled. And also, we found an engine block in one of our recycling carts. Yeah, not so nice, really.
I'm going to read this question. I'm going to make sure I got it. You can't buy anything nowadays without it coming from in a disposable plastic container of some kind, like the kind they call a clam shell.
Oh, yes.
What is that?
That's what this is.
Oh, that's a clam shell.
Yeah, because it's like.
Okay.
But these came in like a small thing, just a clamshell. Yeah. So all made out of plastic. So the container's not recyclable. Could become energy. These, whatever size they are, not recyclable. But what this brings me to is something called wish cycling. Okay. So this is where people put nice, clean stuff like this, and they put it in their cart because they think someone can use this. It's not really bad, You
put it into the blue cart.
The blue recycling cart. So it goes from the blue recycling cart into the truck, and then whatever is left of liquid in here, or your can of beans, all gets compacted together. So this absorbs all the beans and all the icky stuff. And then when they dump it out on the tipping floor, it's disgusting.
I think there's a Saturday night
live
skit coming up.
It could be
with all the frustrated people working at this, screaming about each of these things.
Yeah, and the sad part is about the wish cycling on this kind of stuff is that somebody could use that, but not after it's been mixed in with the recycling and all the smushy juice and all that. It goes to the landfill. It's just not can't do anything else with it. So that's really, really sad. So you can do stuff with that. There's lots of places that accept that and are delighted to be able to give it to people who can use it. Don't put it in your blue cart.
Okay.
Then, this you're going to like. You got to use your imagination on this one. Okay. Paint. Okay. This was the only paint I could bring. Here you go. All right. So never, and let me say one more time, never put a can of paint in your garbage or your recycling cart, because what happens is it gets compacted. If there's any kind of way for a teeny hole to be in the truck or anything like that, that paint in the worst color you can imagine will leak through that and will drop all over the resident.
And we know who you are, because in that can, when he's bagging like that, that top might pop
yes,
off.
And it is not. It's not our fault. Right. You're not supposed to put it there.
Okay, so what are you supposed to do with the last quarter of a half a gallon?
And a paint. Bring it to our home chemical collection sites, and you can drop it off there. And we also have something called, this is kind of totally different. Well, it's still part of recycling, called a Chem Again program. So, so you picked like this color as an accent color, and not good at all. So you didn't even use a quarter of the paint, but it doesn't matter, just however much is in the can. So you bring it to home chem. They take it and you're looking, you're going, oh my gosh, the green was the one I needed. And there's green right there. You can take that one home with you and use it. Chem Again. Isn't that cool?
It is. So let's talk about leftover oil.
Oh, yeah.
Oil, kerosene, bug spray.
Anything like that. Bring it to our home chemical collection sites.
And those are all throughout the county?
We have two. We have one in South Dade by the South Dade landfill and one in North Dade at 58th Street.
So what about the guy that says, I'm not driving all the way up there?
I know. Keep it in your garage. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, like, I can only do so much for you, but I have a place for you to take this material and it will be either safely disposed.
So all the commercial painters that buy the 5 gallon stuff all the time.
Yeah. They're the ones you can't even pick up.
Right. What do they do?
They can't. I'm sorry. Our home chem sites are only for home owners,
okay.
But my guess is they're a business, so they don't probably have a lot of stuff left over. I mean, I'm sure they have ways to use it.
Maybe they mix it up.
I'm thinking possibly. Yes.
So here we are, 2021, and almost half. All right.
Yes.
Pandemic, it's not over, but certainly waning. By the way, we both had our shots. All right.
Yeah.
And we're glad that we're sort of coming out.
Oh,
if you
yes.
will.
Yes.
And it's a nice sense of freedom.
It is.
And hopefully everybody's going to be good.
And careful still.
Yes.
Yes.
So what does it look like in the recycling arena in the next 5 years?
Oh, I'm an optimist. I don't know what to tell you, but I think things are getting better. And as the economy gets better, there's more construction, more need for materials that are made out of recycled materials. So I'm thinking it's not bad. I'm thinking it's going to be good.
So what about classes for the young people so they can have a lifetime of understanding this and put it to action? Tell us about that.
Well, classes, we're always happy to go and speak to virtually or when we can go out in person again, it'll be great. But we do a lot of work. When the teacher calls and asks us to come put everything down and go whenever they need us.
Obviously, we know that's important.
It is.
Because when they're little kids, and I think I might have told you, my daughter's about this big. She's going to elementary school. She comes home. She says, Daddy, if you hit me, I'm going to call the police.
Right, you told me that. But the other thing is, don't put that in your recycling. That's not acceptable. Yeah. And you know what? I have one more thing to tell you. And this is another thing to use your imagination, but light bulbs. Light bulbs, especially CFLs, the little curly ones, they need to go to home chemical. So any kind of light bulbs do not go in the garbage. Regular incandescent can go in your regular garbage, but the CFLs need to go to home chem.
So people that are really committed might do that, but the average guy says,
Yeah, but it has mercury in it. I mean, it's not good. You're supposed to like open the windows in your house if you break one and let it blow through. So
which one's the circle one?
Yeah, the CFLs. Yeah, but just be careful. And you know what? I brought this because I have a picture of a recycling cart with a basket in it, not a bottle. This is not a bottle. This is not recyclable.
Speaking of that, so this was probably made from recycled material.
Yes, probably. Yes.
That's pretty neat.
I know. Isn't that cool?
So why is a teenager
going
to recycle things? What's in his mind that he would go out of his way to do that?
I would hope, we have a big world. We want to keep it. It's important to do the right things now. And I would hope that they would be doing it for the future, which reminds me of one thing. I tell kids this all the time, dropping stuff on the ground. I mean, just littering. That is the worst. I mean, it's just, I see people say, oh, it all ends up in the oceans. How does that happen? Because someone drops it on the ground and it goes in the stormwater and it goes out. And unless what you're holding is on fire, don't drop it on the ground.
You bring up a really good point as far as how we learn, right? And that there has to be that extreme before we say, here's what's going to happen when we see these, people out in the ocean and picking up all that stuff. I mean, it's huge amounts of stuff. All that stuff that's floating around that people are collecting, that all winds up getting pretty much recycled, no?
I'm not sure.
They separate it?
Yeah, if they do and bring it where it's supposed to go, sure, yeah.
So I know the county has an initiative, Keeping Biscayne Bay Clean.
Yes.
Arella Begay, thank you for doing your great effort over there. Saw you the other day on Facebook, and thank you, Mayor, for making that happen.
Excellent.
And the more people that care about that, the easier it is for people to understand it and get the repeated exposure. So I'm a little slow, so I probably been here like 4 times going over this stuff. So this is the stuff that gets recycled like this.
Yes.
And like the little bottle, right?
Right.
So and what about that?
This is good. This is great.
And that's because what?
It is aseptic container. So what this is made out of is high-grade paper, and it has a little plastic thing around it that puts all the names on it and what it is. And when this gets recycled, it goes into something called a hydropulper, which is like a great big blender, and it's mixed with water, and it just goes around and it kind of separates. So the paper comes out and the plastic kind of floats up, and they just skim it off, dry out the paper, use it again.
So in both these cases, things are either going to get fired up,
right?
And you make ash, and then we make electricity out of that.
Right.
It's great. And over here, if it's you try to recycle things.
Right.
So what does the county do when you look at it and say, well, that's not going to get recycled, or do you still? How do you determine that?
You mean like if we see a cart or someone tells us about a cart? What I do,
or a body,
or yeah. No,
sorry, Frank.
A whole other. I actually notify our enforcement division, and they go out and they actually knock on the door to talk to the resident and tell them, what you have in here is not acceptable.
Can you take that
I'm so sorry. Is that in the way?
I don't know.
Sorry about that. They knock on the door, talk to the resident, and say, this is not acceptable. These are the things. They give them a recycle right card. These are the things that are okay. If you take the materials out that are not acceptable, and they'll pick this up on your next recycling day.
So I don't remember seeing or recalling what a recycling truck looks like, or is it the same?
It looks exactly like a garbage truck, but it says recycling on it.
And they go up and down the same streets. They pick up in the green carts.
Right.
So what percentage of homes, more or less, do you think, out of the 340, actually recycle?
We've been talking about this for many years, and the drivers, like this is a windshield kind of thing, they're saying in some places up to 70%.
Wow.
So you can go down some streets, there's carts out at every single street.
And that's as much as a neighborhood tribal issue, because you see your neighbors you're doing and go, oh, I do it with the carts. What day?
Yes.
And I'll look down. Oh yeah, okay, today's the day.
So I got to tell you, you're the guy that takes your cart out on the wrong day.
Of course.
Every single person on the street follows right behind you. And then I get these calls. They didn't get me. I'm going, oh, could you give me your address? And I look it up and going, oh, I'm so sorry. This isn't your day. Your day is Friday or whatever.
How many days a week they pick up? 2 days?
They pick up recycling every other week.
Yep.
And then garbage is twice a week.
So, listen, I don't mind leaving the blue card out there for a week or two, but my wife does. So when I look at what we recycle, it's like the blue card never gets full, right? Because I'm not paying enough attention to it, I suspect.
Well, no, not necessarily. It just depends on, how many people are in your household, what you use. I'll tell you what we've really seen an explosion on is cardboard. Oh my goodness. Cardboard is, everybody gets everything delivered to the house. And I have pictures of cardboard like stacked up all around the cart, and there's no way to pick that up. Actually, I'm so glad we brought this up because people don't realize whatever you've piled up next to the cart, there's no way to pick it up. The only way something gets in the truck, because the opening is on the top of the truck. So the arm has to grab it, put it like that, put it in. Yeah. And it's not like the old days where you could throw it in the back. There's no back.
We have a fellow that comes by to pick up our cardboard here. I call him every once in a while. All right, I'll be there at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. Okay, we put it out there, cut it up, and lay it out for him. Right. And it's a really good feeling to do that, right? Even though it probably costs us more to do that than throw it in the thing. But I think that we as humans want to be able to participate.
That's true. And it's a good thing. It really is. If you put the right stuff in your cart, it really does get recycled. Because, when I used to go out and talk to all the groups before, this time, there would be someone who would raise their hand. They're going, I don't even know why you bother. Nothing. It doesnn't get recycled. And me, I'm like, oh, that's not true. If you put the right stuff in your cart, it does get
Maybe
recycled.
Next time we could get little clips and then be able to show that we could talk about it.
Okay.
Right?
Like how the plant works?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that would be a good idea. All right.
Yes.
And maybe you guys could, Frank, maybe they could get a little part. This is for the trucks. This is what they look like. This is how they pick it up. Right. And then maybe the loading dock, how they unload it. And then maybe a shot of a little video of it going into the burner. And
then, you mean the waste to energy? We've got that too.
All that stuff I think is important.
Yeah.
Because the more we can visualize, the easier it is to understand that.
And let me tell you, do you remember when there used to be e-tickets to go to Disney? They were like the hottest tickets. Seeing the recycling plant and the waste to energy plant, I swear to you, is an e-ticket.
Well, we look forward to doing that. So let's see what else. All right. Let me see if we get wishful recycling. Tell us again what that is.
Okay, so that's when you take your nice, clean that you want to donate, but instead you put it in the recycling cart and you wish it would be recycled because someone wants to. Yeah, that's what that is.
There are plenty of places where they could donate that.
That's right.
Collect
that's right.
And if you've got an old car, not to recycle, but there are places that'll take your car, put your other stuff in it, all right, that you want to give away. Get rid of it all at once.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about on the egg cartons that are sort of plastic.
Yeah.
Or is that cardboard?
It's a foam. But, the cardboard ones would probably be okay. But I haven't seen the cardboard egg cartons very much.
My wife says I have to go to the store to see them, and I don't know
that's not a place that you go to. I understand. And you know what? I think you have to go to special stores to see it. But the foam is not. It's not recyclable.
I got a question.
Okay.
I was told that you're supposed to open the eggs and see if any of the eggs are cracked. Did you ever do that?
Oh yeah, every time.
How often are they cracked?
1 out of 5, maybe.
That's pretty high.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I know. I don't have a large household, so I'm only opening the 6 ones instead of the whole big thing.
I'm bringing home some chicken so we don't have to worry about that. All right, so here we are. Tell us about Recycle Right.
Okay. This is our new program. We are making it so simple because I understand people have a lot of things to remember. You got to stop at a stop sign. You got to go when the light is green. Lots of stuff you have to remember. So we're making recycling simple. There's only 5 things to put in your cart: paper, cans, bottles, cartons. What is it? Paper, cans, cartons, cardboard bottles. I forgot the cardboard. So whatever your question is on, is this recyclable? The answer is it a bottle or a can or a carton or cardboard or paper?
So the household goods shelves and things like that.
Not good.
Okay, so I see this looks like at some point it might be mailed out.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
That's where it goes right there.
Right, right.
So when is that going out?
I think we've sent it out in the past, and I just grabbed that because we actually
Okay.
have a little postcard, but that wasn't in my car. So,
So if people have a question
yeah.
about solid waste management and about what you do, who do they call? Where do they go?
Well, if you have a question, you can always call 311. I mean, they will get it to the right people, or you can go online, miamidade.gov/solid waste. We have great pages. You can even see the videos on all the stuff, but we're going to try to bring those to you.
So solid waste department, are that department also the ones that goes out and does the bulk pickup?
Yes, we do that too.
Right.
Yes, we're amazing.
Yeah. So let's see, how often can they come out and no charge?
2 times a year,
And
25 cubic yards each.
Okay, let's try to describe that in size. A pickup truck with it's filled up with a little mound on it. How much is that?
I don't know, but you know what somebody told me once? A cubic yard is about the size of a washing machine. So
okay, and you can have how many yards?
25.
25. That's a pretty good size.
That's a pretty good size pile.
So people that like to keep their lawn green want to know, and where do we put it? Right out in front of the yard.
Oh,
right?
I know.
We have a group area for the neighborhood.
Oh, okay, that's
right?
good.
And
Yeah.
so we just bring it over to his. All right.
That's so nice of him. Does he know?
By the way, one of the things we do know is if there's a pile out in front of your house, it's going to grow all by itself.
Yes.
Because
yes.
neighbors do that. And the folks at 311, or maybe it's 211, are very
311
understand that.
Yes.
The sooner they pick up the pile,
Right.
the faster people stop dropping on.
Right.
Off.
Right.
So nowadays, the police go out and investigate if you're dumping your trash.
Yeah.
On the
If
street.
you haven't called, like if you put a whole bunch of stuff out and you haven't called for your bulky waste, that's not good.
So if people are dumping on the side of the road.
Oh, illegal dumping. Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about that.
If it's not on fire, don't drop it on the ground.
There's the county does a great job, and my thanks to Senator Commissioner Javier Soto, who polices Westchester and Horse Country, where I live,
right.
118th Avenue, where it's next to the turnpike, and there's a big road there, and people like to dump their stuff there.
Oh,
all right, all the time.
Crazy.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really been better recently, but we know if somebody dumps a little, and 2 weeks later, it's a monster.
It is. I know. It's crazy. And our enforcement division has like regular rounds that they do just to keep an eye out for that.
One of the gentlemen from the department said there was somebody that had some work done at their house. They dumped it there.
Right.
All right. Well, there was a receipt.
I know.
A receipt.
With their name and address on it, right?
Well, for a restaurant. They went to the restaurant. At that time, they found the people and they went to the house. So if you think you're going to get away with it, probably not. Imagine that.
I know. Isn't that amazing?
2 weeks ago, you were at such and such a restaurant at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
All right. And this is your stuff. Oh, yeah. I paid the guy. All right. To haul it away. So if you have work done at your house.
Yeah.
All right. And the repair guy is taking that stuff. You want to make it clear, don't dump my stuff on the side of the road.
It behooves you to make sure they take it to a legitimate disposal site.
And on the south side, there's near FIU on one side over there. Where else can people take?
Well, homeowners, we have, oh my gosh, I think we have 13 trash and recycling centers. They're called neighborhood trash and recycling centers.
And what can you bring there?
You can bring vegetation. You can bring small appliances. You can anything that isn't garbage, isn't putrescible, it doesn't go in your garbage can. So vegetation, furniture, that kind of stuff.
So when I was very young, there was this little girl that was missing in the neighborhood.
Oh.
They found her in the refrigerator in the front yard that the parents had thrown out.
Yeah.
Take the doors off your refrigerator and the freezer. Right?
Absolutely. Yes. I think it's the law, actually. Yes.
So before your guy takes it away, all right, better make sure that you've covered yourself. Just from an emotional point, also from a legal point to be able to do that. So that people can take, homeowners, they can take if they're doing some construction work.
Yeah,
right?
I think, oh my gosh, this is like not really my area, but it's just a few cubic yards of,
Right.
yeah.
All right, so, but don't dump it on your neighbor's yard.
Definitely don't do that. Don't do that.
In horse country, we have a way of taking care of that.
Yeah. Oh, I hear nothing.
All right. All right. So here we are. What else you want to share with us that we could put in reserve in our storage here?
Okay. Well, okay. Recycling is every other week, pretty much. Everything, put only the recyclable materials, which are bottles, cans, paper, cardboard, and cartons, right? That's the only stuff that can go in your cart. Make sure your lid can close, because I'm telling you, there are pictures of cardboard sticking up out of the recycling cart. And when they go to empty the cart in, the material doesn't, it has to be able to go right into the top of the cart. So you have a huge box like that. They go like that. It goes over there on the other side, so they can't empty the cart. So lid has to close, and put only the right materials in your cart.
And if somebody's cart is beat up,
yes,
you could get other carts.
You can exchange that cart. We will be glad to do that for you.
Is there a charge?
No, not to exchange your cart.
So the green cart, they can exchange it.
The blue cart, they can exchange
and the blue.
it.
Right.
If you have a 65-gallon cart, which hard to kind of explain, but it's smaller than your garbage cart. Okay, a little bit smaller, because those are 95s. You can exchange that for a 95-gallon cart if you have a lot of recyclables.
Okay, and we know that when we're taking the cart out to the street,
yes,
that if we lean it back a little bit, it will not wear at the bottom of so if you pull it. Right?
Yeah, it's amazing. I know. I don't know. Yeah, that's some kind of physics. I don't
5 years of college to figure that out.
That's it. I'm proud.
All right. Hey, it's been a gas. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks.
If you want to participate in the recycling program and you need somebody to help you through it, dial 311.
Right.
Or they could call you over there at the recycling
Solid
center.
Waste.
At Solid Waste. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for being here. You always enjoyed to talk
I had
with.
such a good time. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. And again, thank you for joining us. I think I'm over here. All right. Now, before we sign off here, we're going to do that in 1 minute. I'd like you to talk to some young person who's out there and tell them what the future looks like.
I think the future looks great. I mean, there's so many opportunities right now for everyone. And I think I said this the last time. If you're in school, stay in school. If you have the opportunity to go to college, go to college. If you don't want to go to college and you have an aptitude for something else, do that. It's just there are many, many things out there that you can do, and the world needs you.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Again, our guest today is Jeanmarie with the recycling manager at the Solid Waste Department. Thank you for joining us. Again, this is Live with Miami's Community News. Thank you, and Tommy, appreciate it. Listen, tune in every day for Mainland Marlins with Tommy Stitt and David Winker right here.